yield such time as he may consume to Mr. Hoekstra, the ranking member of the Intelligence Committee.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank the gentlelady for yielding. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let's be clear of the purpose of today. We face a real test of what this House of Representatives stands for and who we as representatives really are. Do any of us really believe that the resolution in front of us today is a serious piece of legislation? Does it properly recognize all of America's military and other national security professionals who defend us day and night? What of the hundreds of folks in the intelligence community that are ignored in this resolution, who each and every day are working hand in hand with our armed forces and trying to achieve success in Iraq? Does this resolution discuss or force a debate on the really tough issues of who it is that hates America and others so much that they are willing to kill innocent men, women, and children? Again, this resolution comes up short. What is the threat, and how should America respond? That is the debate that we should be having on this floor. This resolution is all about staying the course. It says support our troops and don't engage a new tactic. Just keep going down the same path. That's not good enough. There are people who hate us enough to want to kill. I speak of militant Islam's hate for America, a hate that extends to others, including Muslims. And these militant Islamists kill. They kill violently and indiscriminately, but this resolution is silent on the threat that we face as a nation, and it is silent on how we should respond. Who are these radical Islamists, and what should America's response to this threat be? We face this on a global basis. What is America's response to jihadism? How will America win this war against this calculating enemy, and how will America lead the world once again in the face of such a ruthless threat? The resolution that we're debating today simply asks, do you support America's fighting men and women, and do you support or oppose a tactic in a battle that is only one front in the war with these militant jihadists who are bent on the destruction of the infidel America and others around the world? Let me say to my colleagues that I don't believe I'm wrong in saying that this debate is really about whether or not America is a great nation that leads in the face of difficulty. Nor do I believe that I'm wrong to question what actually happens when this debate and vote are over. Have we really helped the American people understand the threat? What message do we send to our troops in harm's way? And what is it that the American public needs to understand so that it can better understand the challenges that we face? My own answer, Mr. Speaker, was that we need to understand the consequences of failure. We need to fully understand the nature of the threat that is posed now and, moreover, in the future if we fail in the larger war against militant Islam. Mr. Speaker, let me outline some things about this very real threat to our very existence that needs to be known by the American public and, indeed, this body. This is not a global war on terror. I've never liked that term. I don't know why we keep using it. This is a global war with jihadists. We are not at war with a tactic. We are at war with a group of militant Islamists who hate us and who hate much of the rest of the world. What is a jihadist other than someone or some group so full of hate that they are willing to kill? I have a passion for understanding this threat, and thanks to a great deal of superb research done by many experts in the subject, in particular the author Mary Haybeck, we've been enlightened as to who these individuals are and perhaps also get an insight into the question of why do they hate and why do they hate so much that they are willing to kill. I can tell you that these militant Islamic jihadists are a fringe element of Islam who have very specific ideas about how to revive Islam, return Muslims to world power, and how to deal with their enemies. They are committed to a violent overthrow of the existing international system and to its replacement by an all-encompassing Islamic state, the caliphate. Mr. Speaker, in studying this threat, this militant Islamic jihadist threat, we must also understand why Iraq is such an important element of their war against the West. This is where the letter from al-Qaeda's #2 leader, Zawahiri, to the late al-Zarqawi, outlining the Islamic Caliphate that would stretch from Indonesia across the Middle East and Africa, is instructive. In that letter, Zawahiri outlines a 4-stage plan to create this religious empire. Stage 1, quote, expel the Americans from Iraq, end of quote. Expel them in defeat. I fear that this debate may be the first step in that process. Stage 2 is to create an Islamic religious government in the old Mesopotamia, that is Iraq, developing it and supporting it until, quote, until it achieves the level of a caliphate, end of quote, until it fills the void stemming from the departure of the Americans. Step 3 is to extend the jihad wave to secular countries neighboring Iraq. The jihadists will attack heretic Muslims as they define them. And stage 4 is the clash with Israel, because Israel was established only to challenge any new Islamic entity. Let's be clear about this. This jihad is about them. It is about their God, their religion, before it becomes anything about anyone or anything else. That's right. It's about them before it is about us. The militant jihadists believe that Islam worked well for over 1,000 years, spreading a true gospel, a unified society that followed the Sharia, a law handed down by God. They believe that the modern world has forsaken that pure religious life, and they believe that only in a caliphate governed by the Sharia is the way to return to that pure life. This is the world that they now want to recreate and force on the rest of the world. That's why they're fighting, and that's why they're killing. They see today's world as one where unbelievers, the United States, Europe, Japan, and others, dominate politically, culturally, militarily, economically. This directly assaults their religious beliefs, as in effect, much if not all of the world is controlled by unbelievers. Unbelievers who must be destroyed, including secular Muslim states in the region.